post has the link this time. I haven't for Gore. Publish post, and then I have the Undertale soundtrack on tonight, I think. Or you could just not load, I guess. I should probably turn off notifications. YouTube? Please don't let me just sit in silence here. There we go. Oh boy, that's loud. Alrighty. I don't think anyone's here yet. Oh yeah. I should probably have the Twitch dashboard open, huh? Yeah, that would be smart. That would be pretty smart of me. Where do I find it again? Is it here? No. Stream manager. Alright. Alright. Okay. So, art raffle ended today, which means, I should work on the prize, because this is... I don't know if I would say... I guess, I mean, it is technically client work, it's just... It's a prize, so I don't get paid, and of course I'm not expecting to get paid, but I just don't know really what else to call it. I think client work makes enough sense. Anyways, here's what we got. I am absolutely in love with this character design right here. We got the Undertale soundtrack, and I'm just gonna go because it is late and I'm debating on ending early today. I know I usually go till 1 every, like, the 2 times I did the late night streams, but I do have work tomorrow. I am feeling sleepy, but the track is still a bit loud. We'll just turn it down a little more, so I can hear myself talk. I have to talk a little quieter because my mom is, she's asleep. I think she has work tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and keep quiet. I hope I can stay quiet because it's gonna be really funny. Her asking, like, Kyra, who were you talking to last night? I couldn't sleep, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, Mom. Anyways, if you remember from, like, I don't even remember how long it's been since, the bag of coins. The bag of coins got cashed in, because, again, it was just a bunch of stuff that wasn't fitting in my little, like, cat bank, and, so I asked my mom, like, what should I do with this? And, obviously, she said take it to the bank, but, like, count it first. And then she said that she would count it, so I guess she did that while I was at work today, because at some point I got a message on my phone, and she had sent me, like, $60, and the idea that that was potentially $60 in coins frightens me. But hey, I guess that means we don't actually need 300 pennies to beat scammers to death. We can convert it into slightly bigger coins. This line isn't doing what I want it to. There we go. I think that's good. Oh boy. My throat has been being a little bit silly as of late. I think it's just the weather, but, like, It's like scratchy, it feels sore. I have very like dry coughs. So I know I'm not getting sick. And it's been like this for a few days now, and it hasn't gotten better, hasn't gotten worse. So I'm pretty sure it's the weather. But I've been drinking way more tea than coffee now. Partly, then that's part of the reason why, but other big component is that I just kind of ran out of syrups that I usually make my coffee with. If you had followed me on Twitter previously, then you might be aware that I like to make little potion bottles filled with syrups, and then I'll make my coffee using that. And I ran out of those. I forgot when. And I need to make time to make more. Probably do that Sunday, because Sunday I will have the day off. So that's something to look forward to. And then the other thing too is that I want to look at new syrup recipes, because hi Kira, welcome. Hope this is a good start to your morning. I know you guys, it's like 6 or 7 in the morning there, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm just talking about hey Hecate, hello. I don't know why my little chat bar is like truncated weird. Can I expand? Can I lift him? Nope, nope. Well, I guess I just won't move it. I could see it here too, I guess. Yeah, I was just talking about morning stuff. Right. So, again, if you follow my Twitter, you've seen the little, very much I'm fresh out of the shower. Oh man, that's... I like morning showers, but oh boy, the weather has not been, like, great for morning showers. It's so cold. It's just after 4 p.m. on a Friday here. Oh, wow, so this is actually great timing for you. Pre-roll ads are disabled for 42 minutes. I'm assuming that's because an ad just ran, but I'm not gonna question that. You know, it's so hard. Like, I have, like, the stream manager here, right? But I can't pay attention to it that easily, because I'm looking down at my tablet like this, like I'm a little iPad kid. I'm in a bit of a void today. I'm working while listening in. Ooh, hopefully your shift ends soon. I would hope it's just the standard 9 to 5. Maybe the 9 to 5 is an American thing? I don't know. I don't actually know. I'm very good at not knowing. What was it? Oh yeah, coffee. So you've... I've posted little potion bottles of coffee before, or of syrups before. I ran out, so I'm planning on making more on Sunday. So that's definitely gonna eat up a bit of time. And so the 4 syrups that I usually make are vanilla, lavender, ube, and brown sugar cinnamon. All of which are great mix-ins for coffee. I've been enjoying it a lot. We have 9 to 5 here, but my hours can be flexible. And in my case, oh, oof. Well, I pray to God it's just a little office job then, because at least then, you won't really be on your feet. But, yeah. So it's not really, it's coming into winter. It's still autumn. Trying to think of like flavors that won't be too hard to make. I think peppermint syrup is going to be really easy to make, actually. I think I'll definitely keep the vanilla because I really like vanilla as a flavor. It's a pretty good flavor at the end of the day. And then brown sugar cinnamon I think is also very in season. So I guess I'm just looking to switch out the ube and the lavender. So I have peppermint right now, and I think gingerbread. Gingerbread is a good idea for a coffee flavor. So be doing a little bit of research into that. Maybe we'll do that on stream and see how easy it is. And speaking of, I do need to like the screenshots of the recipes that I got online, I do need to like organize that into an album, like coffee flavors and recipes here, or at least just write it down. It's okay, I love what I do. It has variety. I get to visit my clients in other workplaces, lots of driving, lots of chatting and helping people, and then lots of admin. Oh, that sounds really nice. It sounds kind of like it sounds kind of like what my mom used to do at some point when I was really little. She was a nurse, or she is a nurse, it's just she does case management now instead of bedside. But like a long time ago, she used to like drive out to see patients. And maybe if I was older at the time, I would have like kind of appreciated it more. But the thing was, it would be like all of us in the car. So like my dad would drive, and then my mom's there, and then you know, this was back in like 20 or early 2000s. So my dumbass did not know how to be bored in a car, so I would just like sit there and be like, what's taking so long? Oh, to be 4 again. We got the Undertale soundtrack going on. I think that's pretty good for late night vibes. At least it's late night for me over here. In case you couldn't tell by the void I've planted myself in. I thought my lamp looked a little bit bright on my face, so I turned the brightness down a little bit. And I think... How late is it? Just after 10. Which isn't too bad. Let's see. I have work at 10 tomorrow, and I am a little bit tired. I'm tempted to end early, but at the same time, I'm like, if I get going, I'll like wake up and everything, and it won't be too bad. Or maybe I will. I don't know. Because I just need to make sure I actually get out of bed at 8:30. It's so cold, and I don't feel like getting up. Plenty of recovery time then. Yeah, you know, 6-7 hours of sleep is not the worst thing in the world. I've definitely gone to work with worse. There was one night where I just, for some reason, sleep was not coming to me. And I was just there like, bro, this sucks. And the worst part was that this was back in the summer. There's a park by our house, and every summer they have like a whole like little county fair thing. So at some point during the store, people were gonna go eat at Carl's before they went to the event and then after, and I was just like, bro, do not give me a shift right now. I need to call off. I still went into work, but I like begged the person in charge at the time, like, please let me go home early. I didn't sleep at all. I was very thankful that they got all the breaks out. I was crying like the whole shift and everything. So but thankfully the people in the drive-thru were nice, and I had to explain to them I didn't get any sleep. And they were like, "Oh, it's okay." I don't cry often in public, and that I think is the one time, and I think it's excusable. Let's see. So we're just working on the art raffle prize right now. It ended today. I should probably get it done, because I do have like a lot of stuff to do somehow. Lack of sleep sucks. It does. But you know what's even more frustrating? Like, consistently getting like 8 hours of sleep or so almost every night, and then still waking up tired. Like, what is... This is... It almost feels like sleep is a scam at that point, and I just get upset. Like, come on. What more do you want me to do? Sleep for 12 hours? I can't. At some point I have to wake up and take the dogs out, because I know nobody else is gonna do it. I would love to have like a day in bed, though. I haven't had that in so long. Maybe Sunday. No, my mom's working on Sunday. I can't get away with it. She just got back from Turkey, or not Turkey, Romania, which is really cool. I think I mentioned this last year. She got a bunch of snacks, and I like when my parents bring snacks from wherever they go. They usually visit Philippines because, you know, our family, the rest of our family is there. But, I swear, being allergic to peanuts has to be the worst thing. Cries an alarm clock victim. It's so true. The Apple default alarm clock. It's so bad. I don't... And, like, I know Android users are, like, always joke... Like, there's the joke about, like, Android users. Like, oh, our alarm is, like, so nice. It's such, like, a gentle wake-up. At some point, you have to, like, get tired of hearing it anyways, so... Like, the joke is funny, but I'm sure at some point, like, the calmness of it wears off, and you're just there like, please, 10 more minutes. But yeah, peanut allergies have to be some of the worst, one of the worst things you can get. I don't know if I've mentioned it on stream. I am allergic to peanuts. I'm hilariously allergic to peanuts. According to my mom, when she was carrying me, her cravings were like peanut butter and stuff like that. So God came in and said, I'm cutting you off for the rest of your life, and now I'm just not allowed to have peanuts. Yes, I have an alarm clock radio regardless of what the alarm tone is. I still want to throw it against the wall. Exactly, so it's like, I can't... again, for as funny as the meme is, I can't imagine that it actually works. Or it's actually that pleasant. Oh no, allergic to nuts. Not all nuts, actually. I can eat almonds, hazelnut, macadamia. I feel like there was one more in there and I can't remember. But yeah, I'm hilariously allergic to nuts. And I say hilariously, I mean it in like a way where it's not like deathly allergic, but I can technically die from it. But it's definitely not to the point where if I'm in the same room as peanuts, I will just die. Cashews are my favorite. You know, I really wish I could back that up because I don't know what cashews taste like. There's a decent handful that I can eat, and there's a decent handful that I can't eat. Peanuts being the big one that I'm always like on the lookout for. Cashews I don't trust. Pistachios I think I'm allergic to. I think pecans too. I think what me and my family like decided on was that it seems like I'm not allergic to tree nuts, which I think is what almonds, hazelnuts, and macadamia qualify as. Let's see. So I do have some funny allergy related stories to just sort of stay on this topic a little bit more. It is possible to sort of overcome allergies, right? According to my mom, at least. I don't know how true it is, but if you just like slowly keep introducing it to your body starts freaking out a little bit less and less, I believe. Now, I have no idea if that's actually true, but I did try it. And by try it, I mean I tried it like one time and then never again because, so here's what happened. We have, in the States, we have this ice cream brand called Drumstick. They're little like vanilla ice cream cones dipped in chocolate and covered in peanuts. And you can just get they're just packaged in boxes and you can get them at the store. I don't know if, I'm sure other places have like similar things. It's just gonna be easier for me to refer to the brand, and the brand is called that in America. So I'm gonna call it that. So, I forget what I was doing. I cooked something at home, and we had a bunch of Drumstick ice cream cones in our freezer, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna this is my resolve. I'm going to attempt to eat peanuts, and I'm going to try and get over my allergies. Yes, we have them here, same as Cornetto in the UK. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling that it was a different name at least. So, like, I'm gonna get over my allergies for sure this time. I'm gonna be consistent with it. I'm gonna be dedicated, so I don't have to live in fear of something accidentally, like, having peanuts in it ever again, right? Something like that. Now this probably wasn't a good idea in hindsight, but I took one of the drumstick ice cream cones, and I just bit right into the shell. Immediately, just... It's so painful. I don't know how to describe it. You know how there's, like, itchy, and then there's mosquito bite itchy? Like, there's just having, like, a regular itch on your body, and then there's, like, when it's a mosquito bite, and then, like, when it's really, like, swollen and kind of painful, and, like, it hurts to scratch because your skin is, like, all swelled up, but, like, you're itchy, but so you're scratching it anyways, and it hurts. It's kind of like that, but now imagine that pain, like, inside your mouth. It's so... Yeah. Oh, Muzzy. I like that little thing. Mozzie bites suck. I like what you guys call them. That's a cute little thing. Yeah, inside your mouth, all over it, and then inside your throat, and then your stomach just hurts. That's the first part. That's the first thing that happens. It's not fun. Like, it's immediately painful. So, after the first bite, I was like, alright, I'm done. Where's the Benadryl? I'm gonna lie down now. So I just did that. And I lied down for a bit. I think thankfully we did have Benadryl. And, took that, went on the couch, was not having a good time. Yeah, I like bringing that down a little bit more, actually. There we go. And, yeah. If my specific, symptoms for allergies, it's my throat closes up a little bit, so I start wheezing. And then I get hives all over my body. It's like popcorn wall on my skin, and it's just so itchy. And I'm glad I remember how painful it was, because at least I will, like, if I ever do decide to, like, try this stupid stunt again, I will be more careful with it, but oh boy, that was hilarious. And every time I tell people that I'm allergic to peanuts, I appreciate how immediately, like, worried they are. Like, oh, like, shoot, like, is it, like, really bad? Like, can you be in the same room? Like, yeah, I could be in the same room as it. At Five Guys, which is just a little burger joint around here, I used to actually crack peanuts for my brothers because I couldn't eat them, but they could, and I was bored, so I would do that. And there have been I can touch them just fine. Like, I just can't eat them. And there were, like, numerous instances where I'd forgotten to, like, wash my hands afterwards, after cracking all the peanuts, and I would just rub my eyes, and it would just swell up so bad. My parents would be, like, super upset, like, why did you do this? Why are you like this, Kyra? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just silly and stupid. But, so that was funny. Another... I think my best allergy story has to be, like, back in high school, right? So, I've mentioned already, I was in band before, right? Marching band. Marching band did two things at my high school. Parades and field shows. And field shows are just for, the football halftime shows. We'll go out onto the field and, we play the music and we march around the field and create fun shapes by moving around to different spots. But this wasn't a field show game now that I think about it. This was the homecoming game, which means we had a parade block, not the field show this time. Well, earlier in the day, like before rehearsal, I was eating snacks upstairs, and this goes back to like the whole like issue of me being allergic to nuts and being Filipino. So many Filipino snacks have peanuts in them. And I think, to be fair, I guess, I think it's true with just a lot of, like, people in general. A lot of places just have peanuts in their food. So I guess it isn't just Philippines, but I don't know, I notice it a lot. My parents will bring home snacks, and like 99% of what they bring home has peanuts, and I'm like, thanks guys, thanks for thinking about me. Jokingly though, it's fine. But you know, we have an assortment of polvoron, which is just like a little like crumbly biscuit kind of thing, and it comes in different flavors. This one was like a coffee flavor, and I swear I had eaten this coffee flavor before, right? Without any problems. And then I eat this one. I immediately feel sick, and I'm like, I know what this is. Maybe. But I'm like 15 at the time or something. So I'm especially dumb right now. And I'm just like, oh, well, you know, maybe the symptoms will die down and I can still do the whole band thing, tonight. And I don't have to worry so much. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's merge this down, actually. So, the rehearsal was at like 5, I think. So, I'm there in my little marching band uniform. My skin is starting to break out, my face is red, and my dad thought I was crying. I'm like, no dad, I'm fine. I was not fine, but for different reasons. I go to rehearsal, and I'm like, you know what? I can kind of feel my throat just sort of closing up. When I say my throat closes up, it really is just the wheezing. I never remember feeling like shortness of breath or anything like that. But I still decide, like, okay, well, let me just play it safe today, right? Let me just stand in the marching band. I'll stand in the parade block, and I just won't play my instrument, right? I won't play my flute. So we're standing out there, it's the evening, and I'm like, as I'm standing out there, my vision goes from, like, relatively clear to suddenly being tinged in yellow. I don't know what happened, but I remember standing there thinking, oh, this isn't good. I should probably go home after rehearsal. So I kept hoping that it would, like, go away and I could still do, like, the parade, right? But it just didn't. And at that point, I was definitely, like, covered in, like, really itchy hives, and I just needed to go home. So I asked the band director, like, can I please go home? I'm having an allergic reaction. And he looks at me and he's like, yeah, please go home. So I get picked up. Johnny is very mad at me. Not very mad, but it's like, why are you so stupid? And I'm like, I thought it'd be fine. Take the Benadryl. The Benadryl, if you don't know, makes you incredibly sleepy. So I'm like high off of it too in like the middle of all of this. Why did the music stop? At some point, Johnny had to, like, walk me upstairs, and I said something. I don't even remember what it was, but it was, like, so horrendously slurred. I was out of it. And then my friend was also, like, mad at me the next day. Like, why did you come to rehearsal? I'm like, I thought it'd be fine, you know? All I have to do is stand at the block and march. No. I really do just be stupid sometimes. But on the bright side, I haven't had anything like super bad recently. And it's kind of nice. I know every time we go to like buffets and stuff and there's like little desserts, Johnny offers to like try something for me so we can see if it has nuts or anything. Because that would be hilarious if I just suddenly got a thing. Because, yeah. Allergies are funny. Or, they're not funny, but they are to me. My allergies specifically, not anyone else's. I feel bad for people who have, like, the really bad ones where you can't even be in the same room as the same thing. Like, I'm glad I don't have that, because I don't even know how I would live with myself. Yeah. But that's me. I have it saved in a little bit. Do that real quick. Yeah, this is for Shunky on Blue Sky. I forgot the exact @ but I'll definitely have it in like the full post. We're definitely not finishing this tonight because it's late and I do have like not necessarily a big plan for it, but I do have more that I want to do for this. I don't just want to do the bust. I do kind of want to put like a little like painted background and everything. I'm thinking, because this is when I looked at the when I got the reference, it's a very like ice themed character. You can't see it here because it was 1 on the other ear, 2 this earlobe is being obscured by the big thing of hair over here. But she has a snowflake earring, and her colors are very, very reminiscent of Aurora Borealis. So I'm thinking I'll paint Aurora Borealis behind her in like a little like square, which I think will look really nice, just to show off that color palette a little bit more, because, you know, it's a bust, can't really get the whole outfit. But I can do that other thing. And I've never painted an Aurora before, which I think will be really fun. I don't know if I have good brushes for it, but I'll definitely try. I might impromptu stream that just so I don't forget the process of how I did that. If I do it, maybe. I don't know. I should just record myself, really. What else? What else has been going on? Let's see. Guitar has been going pretty well. My fingers aren't hurting as much when I press down on the strings. So, it might be time to upgrade to the actual better acoustic that we have in the house. I'm gonna refresh this again because YouTube is being weirdly slow with this. Let's see, anything funny at work? Finally got through all the training videos for real this time. So I just had to take a little written test and I'll be good to go. They're already like starting the manager training with me today though, and oh boy, it is a lot. And not that I have any like malice for how anything is being handled at the store, but today, so we have this thing called pathing that managers have to do. It's basically walk around the store, make sure everything's alright, and you do that at the beginning of your shift. So I sort of know how to do it, I sort of know what to look for, but one of the shift leaders, she's just like, here, take this tablet and go do it real quick. And there were so many questions on the tablet, like, is this up to standard? Is this other thing up to standard? Is this, and this? And it just kept going, and I was like, we're in the middle of a rush! I need to get back and help my team! And I'm, like, running around and everything, like Like, yes, I think so, yeah. Uh, which, I don't know how the other shift leaders do that so fast. Because at least 2 sections involved, like, going outside the store and checking, like, the drive-thru in the parking lot, and I'm just like, where do you people find the time for this? Like, actually. It was a lot. We got through it, though. There was at least one funny part, during all of that. So we have to check the temperature of the foods, because, there is, like a whole, like, regulation thing with that for food safety, something. And, the raw chicken is supposed to be kept between, like, 36 degrees Fahrenheit and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure the temperatures are mostly gonna be fine, because, you know, the other shift leaders were here already, and I'm sure they checked it. I stick the thermometer in the chicken, and I'm just watching the little reading drop, like, all the way down to, like, 31. And I'm just like, guys, why is the chicken so cold? And how do I fix it? So, one of the other cooks is also getting promoted as a shift leader like me. And he's like, well, let's see. He takes one look at the controls and it's like, I don't know how to do that. We might have to ask someone else. So like we all convened at like the chicken tender or the hand-breaded chicken station, and we're just like, why is the chicken cold? And the thing is that during the day, most of the employees speak Spanish, and I don't, so they're all speaking Spanish back and forth at each other, and I'm just there like, the chicken is too cold. I don't know what they did, but it worked. And I'm just like, okay, moving on. I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, properly get trained by a person. I would love if Johnny trained me, because he's actually a shift leader, but I don't think they're gonna allow that because, we're siblings. But it would be funny, and I think he would do, like, a much better job explaining things, because, good lord. They are just letting me run free with all of this. They'll just be like, okay, Kara, here's the sheet for the safe. Go count it. And I'm like, 1, 2. I understand that that I have to be promoted pretty fast, but, a little explaining would go a long way, I think. And then go all the way like this. So it's about the end of the week. How's everyone been holding up? 'Cause I've been doing a lot of, like, silly little rambles. I think those emotes are a good thing. No, they're crying. No! I am sorry if that's really how bad your week has been, Kira. Hopefully this is like kind of a nice ending to it. The weekend is getting tough, but the week was okay. Okay. Yeah, well that kind of sucks. I understand having like rough weekends though. I work on the weekends for fast food and it's like, man, what are all of you guys doing here? Stop giving the store business. Let us go bankrupt. But no, yeah. It's always unfortunate when weekends are tough, because, like, that's supposed to be the time when things aren't, like, are anything but tough, but I'm hoping like whatever you have like ahead of you isn't too bad. I know the other weekend there was a guy who came to the store. Um, he ordered 6 large combos, which is a lot, and I was just there like, bro. And then I think last weekend actually, a lady came to the store and was like, "Hey, how much do?" It was something like to the effect of 24 large fries. And I was just looking at her like, okay, well, it's this much. And she's like, okay, how about 90? And I'm like, I'm sorry? It's, according to her, it was like, she forgot to order food for like a work meeting. So she was just like, oh, well, I'll just get fries at Carl's Jr. And I'm just like, I, I, I felt so bad for the kitchen. I was like, sorry, guys. My deepest condolences. I think she only ended up ordering like the 24 or something like that. And thankfully no other cars were coming in, so it didn't take too long to get her food out. So I was like very thankful about that. Like, oh, thank God the customers aren't coming in, because there have been so many instances where we'll either get like one really big order or a lot of really small orders like online. And then that's when people start coming into the store and you're just like, what do I do now? I think the outlines are going well. I tried like a different method of drawing the eyes here because I really wanted to... this particular angle for the head is kind of tough to do sometimes. So I wanted to make sure I get it right because I am drawing this for another person. So I looked up a tip for that, and surprisingly enough, it actually worked. I was a little worried that it wasn't going to work as well in my... translate as well in my style, but yeah, it actually looks pretty good, I think. God, the Undertale soundtrack is so silly. I've been trying to think of more stream ideas to do. I think Subnautica, because the Subnautica 2 trailer, or the teaser trailer, dropped like a week or two ago. It's been trending again, so I'm tempted to play that, but I'm also very scared of Subnautica. Like, I love that it's not explicitly a horror game, and you think it's just a survival game, and then it's a survival horror game, and it's so... oh my god. I tried playing it once, and Jesus, it is a nerve-wracking game. It's just the other thing that's holding me back from playing it too is that I haven't played through the whole thing before, but I do kind of know the gist of it, so I'm not sure if it'll be as exciting. Maybe I should just play Below Zero. But another thing too, so Clive has been on stream before, right? We all know him. He's that brother, but Johnny I think has only ever been on chat. And he suggested, oh, we should do like multiplayer Subnautica, like we'll find a mod for it, because it's usually a single player game. But I'm sure there's like a multiplayer mod for it somewhere. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And I asked him if he would be okay with playing it on stream. And he said, I think on the one condition he had, because he's a very private person, right? Which is why he hasn't like been on like a Discord call with me or anything. Subnautica is a good game, but yeah, it is unsettling beyond belief. It really is. Also, welcome! we're just yapping and drawing as usual. I will come up with more. I'm trying to come up with more interesting stream ideas. So that's what this little yap session is. So the one condition that Johnny agreed on was that we put a voice mod over the Discord call, so his voice isn't like recognizable. Because again, he is a very private person, and I respect that. It's just me and Clive like don't mind our faces or voices being on the internet as much as he does. So, if the Subnautica stream does happen with Johnny, do expect like a very silly voice out of that. But yeah, I really should find more games to play on stream, because for as much as I love like doing art, I think games will be very fun too. I was thinking Hollow Knight tonight, but I was like, no, I should probably get this thing like going so I don't spend too long on it, and I don't want people to keep waiting for their art. Let's see. Yeah. A side note, how are we feeling about the Tuesday-Thursday schedule? It's Tuesdays 11:30 to 2:30, and then Thursdays 10 to 1. Like, is that a doable schedule for most people? I don't actually know. Time zones are always weird, and my audience is definitely not in the States sometimes. So it's definitely hard for me to time it, especially between work. Oh, welcome back, Heket! Music is being slow again. I don't know what YouTube is on. Oh, this is a very grim track. But yeah, we're just coming up with stream ideas. I think Subnautica on stream would be very funny. At the very least, it'll be really funny to watch me cry as I get eaten by large alien sea creatures. I didn't get far when I tried playing. I think I got as far as like making it onto the Aurora, but not actually going inside of it. The schedule works for me since I wake up at 7:30 every day. Oh, that's nice. I really do. It is nice to know that this is like a great start for your day. And I'm sure for a few people this is definitely just going to be like the end of their day. And meanwhile, for me, it is the silly hours. We are getting there. Well, if it works out for people, I'll keep doing this. If there's just like one day a week where I'm definitely going to bed past 1 in the morning, that's fine, I'll live with it. It's not too hard to keep up, I think. I'm also thinking maybe for some art streams, rather than drawing in my usual style, I try to learn new ones. There's one style that I really love to learn. I think it's mostly for like comic inking and stuff, but like, it's like there's so much detail in it, and it's all in like the line work and everything, and it's so cool because it's like, there's like so much detail. It's like the way you use like the negative space to convey like different textures. I love it, and I really want to learn it. So I think maybe we'll try that for one art stream one day. I love streams at either end of my day, but I can't really do really late ones during the week because I do a lot of driving. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. I know for me, a lot of the times when people stream, I'm out of the house and I'm just like, I really want to watch you guys, but I'm horrendously like, I I don't want to use all my data at the end of the day, but I do want to watch the streams. Usually I do try to pop in for a little bit if I notice that. Getting more into the whole streaming culture now. It's very silly. Yeah, Subnautica I think will be fun for stream. Hollow Knight I think will be another fun one, but I also have already played through all of Hollow Knight already. But I also want to play through Hollow Knight again before Silksong comes out, if it ever comes. I'm sure it's coming out. I've had this talk before. Let's see, we'll save real quick, and we'll get to the beads. Let me do it this way. I'll also decrease that a little bit. You know we have circle, we have shape tools for this, and I just refuse to use them. I don't know why. Yeah, I'd love to learn how to like work in like a full like ink medium. Painting might be another fun one, but I feel like my art style just like even without the sketch here. Oh wait, why are we on a thing again? I don't remember. We'll merge that real quick. But even without like if I were to paint over this, I just don't know how good a painting would look on that. I could try, but I don't think it's gonna pan out as well as I'm hoping it would. I'd love to try out graphite, but Medibang just doesn't have a lot of good pencils for that, I think. Procreate does though, but I don't think I want to stream on my iPad. I don't think that would go very well for me. There we go. We also had some new faces on Monday, which is not usually when I stream, but it seems like it was a time zone that worked out for people, so I feel like I might add that too. I'm just not too sure, because Monday is also... The other thing about Monday is that that's usually my chore day, because that's when I do my laundry and everything, but... I'll really have to see, because I would like to stream more and reach a few more people if possible. I'm not too concerned about channel growth, though. This is a side thing at the end of the day, and if people want to come here and hang around, that's fine by me. I won't mind too much either way. I think in general, for hobbies like this, that's just a good mindset to have. I really would love to have like a full like illustration job and everything and get paid to do art more, but baby steps. And until then, I simply just have to not care too hard. I just have to care enough. And I think just take care that you don't burn yourself out. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think my thing with streaming, especially right now, is that, well, the approach I've been taking with it is that, well, I was drawing anyways. I might as well sit in front of a camera and draw and talk to the silly little internet people online, because the silly little internet people make my brain produce good chemicals. And that's how I've been approaching it. I don't want it to feel like a job. I don't want it to feel like a chore. I just want it to be like a, well, I just want it, I just want it to be something where it's like, okay, well, I can do this, and I'm not gonna be too super, like, hung up over it. And I think the nice thing too is that because I do have a job, it just doesn't feel like a job. Because I know what work feels like. It feels like 8 hours on my feet serving burgers and fries to angry customers. And I exaggerate about that a little too. The store's actually been doing pretty well, all things considered. Like, today we actually got through the school rush pretty well. I won't take too much credit for that. Because it was kind of a slow day today. I did get let out like 20 minutes early. But I do take pride in the fact that I do have like all the rush schedules memorized. So I know when to go back into the kitchen and be like, hey kitchen, make sure you have fries ready to drop and you got meat in your bins because they're coming. The customers are on their way and they want burgers. Yes, please do take care of yourself. Yeah, of course. Let's see. I definitely have been taking way more time to like relax more as of late, just because I do recognize one of the biggest things that I recognize for me personally, because I do so much art every single day. I do notice like when my wrist is like having particularly bad days, and I don't think guitar should be exacerbating it too much. But I do definitely like notice a little bit of like an ache. Just a little bit. Speaking about on their way, I think I have to go now. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, of course, Kira. Glad to have you start your day with this, and hoping the rest of it goes well. And I hope the weekend does go smoother than it sounds like it might. Wishing you the best of luck with everything. But yeah, I do notice like a little bit of an ache in my wrist. Not really like a stiffness, which is definitely an improvement from the last time I had like really bad wrist pain. It is kind of an ache. I don't know if that's because I'm putting my brace on too tight, or if it's just general wear, but I am like keeping a very like close eye on how my wrist is feeling, and I am being very careful about it at work. The biggest thing at work that I think causes damage to it is scooping the ice cream, because good lord, good lord. One day inspection came in, and they were like, "Oh, well, your ice cream melts because you leave it out of the freezer, and the customers are complaining. So what if you just scooped the ice cream out of the freezer?" First of all, that little freezer is like super low, right? So like I'm short, and I have to like really like bend down there to get the ice cream, and the leverage is not good. You can't see it because it's off the camera, but like it really is like down there. Second, there is a reason all of the ice cream has to be put like a layer up, and it's because anything closer to the bottom of the freezer becomes solid as a rock. So when you put the tub of ice cream down there at the bottom, of course that tub of ice cream is gonna get super frozen too. Oh boy, the music stopped again. Here we go. Oh, Butters is barking. I don't know if you guys caught that. Butters is being silly down there. But anyways, now, of course everyone's gonna say like, oh, we'll just like get a cup of hot water and dip the scoop in there, and then you should be able to get through the ice cream just fine. You cannot. Like I said, it is solid as a rock. So, not safely set up for ergonomic comfort. Or yeah, Jakes, that's so funny. That's so funny that we both thought of the same thing. Yeah, no, exactly, because it doesn't. And I know this because before, when we used to keep the ice cream at the bottom too, one of the things that we would do is if it was super frozen, we'd put it in the microwave for like no more than 10 seconds usually. But even when you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, sometimes it was so frozen that it wouldn't thaw. So I know how hard that ice cream gets. And it hurts so much to scoop it. It's to the point where I'm like, okay, screw what OA said. This tub is staying out here, and I am going to do this as fast as I can. And that is the best I can do to protect my wrist safety, because good lord, it really does hurt. I work in health and safety, so that is not good for your wrist at all. Exactly. And I'm like, but the other part of me is just like, what if I just... This is so incriminating. It's like, what if I just got hurt? What if I just let myself get hurt? Because this is how they want us to do it. I'm not going to, because I clearly already have a solution anyways, but it's like, in the back of my head, it's just, what if? What if? Injuries like that accumulate over time. Yeah. Our previous GM, I love her, but, she had been working at Carl's for so long, and literally, I kid you not, because she had, like, bagged the orders so much, like, so consistently for such a long period of time, her, she, like, I don't think it's carpal tunnel, because we have me and her have different braces, but she had she needed, like, so many surgeries on her wrist, because of how much she was, like, having to, keep bagging all the orders and everything. If you've never bagged orders before, usually what we'll do, we'll flick the bag down like that to open it, and then from there it's just grab and shove it in there, and I think that, like, constant motion just really wore something down on her arm or her wrist, and it was bad. She was gone for so long, and then eventually they finally just switched her to a different store, because of all the inconsistencies with everything. I can't even remember if she got, like, coverage for that from Carl's Jr. It was just... I just remember, like, it was bad. It was not good. But yeah, I do take care of my wrist a lot, because I do recognize if I don't, I will never draw again. I know sometimes I've wanted to, like, they need to look at implementing safe systems of work. Oh, they do. They do. They only, it's just they wait for something to happen, and that's when things get implemented. Like, for example, for the longest time, we only had, inside cameras. And to be fair, there is, like, we do have a buddy system for opening and closing the store, you know, in the late hours when things can actually get, like, pretty dangerous. But for some reason, we didn't have outside cameras. Ah, yes, the time-honored reactive approach. Yes, because that has definitely been proven to be, like, conducive, I think that's the right word, for employee safety. So, the stupid, so, just, sorry, my chores got in the way. Oh, no worries, Nikki. Welcome. Welcome. I'm ranting about work again because it's not my stream without me complaining about my work situation. To catch you up to speed, we only had inside cameras in the store for the longest time. Now, I don't care what buddy system you have for opening and closing and just in general. if you need to have your employees go outside, like say for example, taking out the trash or taking out parked cars, you should have outside cameras. I'm taking a break from drawing because we just finished Outline, so I'm gonna make sure that I can grab the reference art for that. But yeah, do you know why we got outside cameras? It's for literally the dumbest reason ever. We used to have a shift leader a while ago, and she would take pretty frequent smoke breaks, and to her credit, at least she did smoke outside the store. But she would go outside a lot, and it would be like the middle of a rush, and all of us would be like, where is she? Because we need help, we're getting slammed. The reason why they had installed outside cameras is because they wanted to watch when she went outside, so they could use that as things to fire her, like evidence to fire her for. And I'm like, that's seriously what it took for us to finally have outside cameras? That's insane. Like, Jesus Christ. Another dumb change that got implemented, yeah, it's terrible. It's so bad. And I'm like, something bad is gonna happen one day, and it's gonna be entirely the corporate's fault. Another change that got implemented roughly today, I think. So for online orders, especially for online orders with shakes, we like to store the drinks in like a cold spot sometimes, just so they don't melt, especially when like the online order has taken a while. So what ended up happening today, or for some reason, the DoorDashers or someone is complaining like, oh, the shakes aren't ready when we get there. So, my manager was asking like, oh, does that mean like we can't even just like, put it in the freezer even when it's done? It's like, nope, we can't do that. So now we have to leave the shakes out, and if the DoorDasher happens to take a while getting to the store, that whipped cream and that shake is gonna melt. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, that's not even my fault anymore. If the DoorDashers are gonna complain about the shakes not being ready, then the customers get to complain to them, because that was not my fault that the shake melted. So, just a lot of like weird changes that corporate is making. I understand some of them, but like these two in particular have to be some of the dumbest things that I have ever heard. So, hooray. Anyways, let's see. I don't actually have my Blue Sky linked. I have my website, my card linked. Holy balls, why do I have 17 notifications? Well, I won't question that. And I'll check those another time. At some point I should have... Okay. And then this has our color palette. Perfect. Alrighty. Oops. I knocked my camera. Just do that. Right. Then we'll just open a new canvas so we can grab it there. Alrighty. Yeah, this is the character that I'm drawing. Absolutely gorgeous, designed by Shunky. I am absolutely in love with this, and I cannot wait to do this. Like, I love when I get to draw really cool characters like this. I see it all the time with clients. Corporate will go ahead and make changes without consulting the people who do the job, without conducting a basic risk assessment. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Honestly, if my wrist somehow ends up getting busted at work somehow, I really should look into like how to like legally pursue that, because I think to an extent I actually can't, because a lot of the wrist wear does come from the fact that I do a lot of drawing, but I don't understand. But I think the counterpoint to that should be, why should I sacrifice a career that I'm trying to go for this job that, like, the job is only part of my commitment. My other commitment is art at the end of the day, because I do want to make a career out of this. I don't understand why I have to sacrifice my time when I'm out of work. This is such... How do I explain this? I don't understand why, if I'm drawing at home, that suddenly... and it hurts my wrist, and then I come to work, and I expect, like, work to be, like, not hurting my wrist, and then they say, like, oh, well, your wrist isn't injured because of what you're doing here, your wrist is injured because you keep using it at home, and I'm like, yeah, but why should what I do out there have a major impact of what I do here? Because what you've already done is hurting my wrist even more. And it probably hurts other people's wrists too, realistically, because this is like an awful position to scoop ice cream. But, I don't know. I'm sure that color will look better as I keep going. I think I swear, I do try to stick to, like, original palettes and everything, but I think sometimes the color profiles are just a little bit off. I think it's fine, though. We'll check it as I keep going, because I'm sure it's just a matter of, I'm sure it's just a matter of me not laying down the rest of the color yet. I wonder if I should do, like, that sort of orangey sclera. We'll grab it from here. Where I am, workplaces have a duty to provide and maintain a safe workplace, and that includes not aggravating a prior existing thing. Those colors look very mermaid and dreamy, right? I very much likened it to Aurora Borealis, like I said earlier. So I'm definitely gonna try to attempt to paint that in the background. I don't know how well that's gonna go. But I'll definitely try, and I'll definitely forget how I did it. But yeah, no, it's so stupid. Like that, like, just let the ice cream melt. Like, just, maybe not all the way, but, like, let it melt enough to where I can actually, you know, like, not have my wrist snap off my arm when I scoop it. It's fine, though. See, and then what color do I grab for the eyes is the real question, because I can see that there's a little bit of a gradient, but none of those colors in the gradient actually look like it's on the palette chart up here. I would love to see the Aurora Borealis. Not sure if the spelling is correct there. It's okay, I'm not sure either. There are so many instances of me just not knowing how to spell or pronounce a word. It's kind of sad sometimes, but what can you do? I could get good, that's what I could do. Because there's this, and then there's... I'm not too sure if, like, any of these colors really match what's on there. I guess I'll just eyeball it then. I'm so good at this. I'm not that good at this. Anyways. I think I'll make this a little bit lighter, actually, just to make it look a little bit more like a regular Scalera, because I'm still not sure how intentional that was. I know there was... Johnny gave me a piece of art advice once, like, oh, like, for Scaleras, you don't actually... and teeth, you don't actually want to use white. But of course, because my art style is, like, super inspired by anime, I use white, so there was that. But I think, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. And then we'll fill these in, because I didn't notice that they didn't actually fill in. I could up the threshold on my fill bucket, but then I think it would be spilling out of the lines, so not doing that. Alright, and then we need the lips, which I think is thankfully a color on here somewhere. I think it's this one. I always get so surprised when people say, like, oh, you have a very, like, comic book art style. I'm like, really? I do? Because, again, to me, like, my style is, like, very inspired by, like, anime and manga. I just, like, added things that I wanted to see more of. So, like, bigger noses, I guess, is one way to start, because I love how the anime noses are will literally just be like, it'll just be like these are the eyes, right? Like, these will be the eyes, right? And their nose is just... I never really liked that much, because my biggest pet peeve with art, with the anime art styles, is that their nose is like that, and then like when they turn to the side, their nose is suddenly like that, and I'm like, bro, where did that come from? I think that is just because of the cat face theory, right? Did I color this part already? Let me just go over it again just in case. Where it's like, oh, anime characters are drawn that way because drawn a certain way. I can't see the nose exactly. I like art styles with more defined noses. Noses need more love. Absolutely. Yeah. It's always been a pet peeve of mine that they don't draw the noses like when it's like front view or 3/4, because one, I think noses really make a character. Like it's a significant part of their face. You should probably have it. And then when they turn to the side, they suddenly have like a wolf snout or something, and it's like, bro, you cannot just. Especially big noses or bumpy noses, crooked noses, wide noses. I want to see noses that look like my nose or my friend's noses. Yeah! Yeah, I definitely need to work on that to an extent. But, you know, I am at least proud to say that I have, like, a very, like, anime-esque art style and can draw dark-skinned people because, oh boy, that also pisses me off so much. Have you... there was one meme that I saved on Twitter because I wanted to show Johnny. Let me pull it up. Because I think I do have it bookmarked still. I forgot where. My bookmarks on Twitter are full of the dumbest things. Oh, all the horny Astarian stuff is so funny. I barely look at my bookmarks. I forget I have some of these. Did I scroll past it? I might have scrolled past it. Yeah, I think I might have scrolled past it. Hang on. Like, I love anime art styles, but there are just some things about it that, like, really pisses me off sometimes. It's like, guys, come on. It's 2024. You can do better. Ah, the post is from a suspended account. Ouch. An anonymous gifter gave Nikki a tier 1 sub. Oh! We have anonymous gifters now. Unless that's you again, Hecate. Are you being sneaky again? If you want to be anonymous, you don't have to say yes or no. Anyways, welcome to the sub. We are 4 out of 10. I don't know what these sub goals mean, but I assume they mean something. Okay, I'm assuming that's confirmation. It's allegedly confirmation. The post is gone, but it was funny. Basically, it was like one of those, like, static-y filter things, and you keep zooming in until you choose. It must have been magic. You're so kind. You're so kind. But it was basically one of, like, those TV static filters, and you keep zooming in to, like, choose a color for the skin tone, and you could see, like, the person's stylus. Like, it's supposed to be the, like, a really, like, dark tone for the character. The long professor emote is coming in. And then they like desperately try to get like like a lighter skin tone. And it's such a common thing. Oh yeah, that video was horrible. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. It makes me so mad. Like, I can't. It makes me really mad when I see, like, other anime artists, like, either do, like, the really, like, ashy tone, or the one that they use to make her look, use the shading to make her look white anyways. Yeah. It's so stupid. It's like, guys, it's not that hard. I can do this. And again, I consider myself to have, like, a very, like, anime-esque art style. It's not that hard. So, I don't know what the rest of the world is smoking, or the rest of the anime artists are smoking, but is it because some Asian cultures like to try and make their skin more pale? You know, that's definitely part of it, but that also isn't to say that every anime artist out there too is Asian, is the thing. People deserve melanin. Exactly. Give the people what they want. Again, I think the whole Asian culture thing with skin is definitely a part of it. I hope Twitch doesn't flag this for being political, because it really... I don't think it is. Perhaps the beauty standard for a long time in a lot of cultures, it's still an issue. But people do deserve it. Okay, it took me a moment to, like, read what was going on there. But, no, yeah, it's, again, I definitely think it is because, like, of Asian stuff. Like, my mom is definitely a subscriber to, like, not getting dark by standing out in the sun. It's hilarious. But, again, that isn't to say that every single anime artist out there is Asian. Because, well, yes, I'm sure a lot of them are, that still doesn't mean, like, they all are. So, some of them are probably, like, I can't say people like me because I'm Asian, but, you know. But, on the topic of, like, of it being an Asian culture thing, it definitely is. It's weird remembering that other countries are not as racially diverse as the States sometimes. 'Cause you're just there, like, you people just... It's weird, because it's like you people just, like, not that they say anything or, like, make any assumptions, but it's like you'll see, like, the things that they're, the media that they have, and it's like anime, for example. There's so many, like, pale, characters there, and it's like, it's just such a strange thing to me sometimes. I think it's definitely gotten better over the years, but it's still like, wow. I avoid the sun because of skin cancer risks. I've had one. Oh my god, that is scary. Diversity is just so beautiful. Why would you even want everyone to look the same? Exactly! But, you know, some cultures are like that, and I'm not gonna police a culture that I'm not even a part of. Like, because while I don't agree with it, I don't live there. So, it's not that it affects me. I'll leave that to the people who actually, like, live there and want to see a difference. Yeah. This does bring up a funny thing. My mom is so anal about, about, the three of us not being too tan. We must be part vampire mood. I always burn instantly, so I'm always covered in sunscreen even when it's cloudy. I mean, isn't it like when it's cloudy, you should especially be covered in sunscreen? Because that is actually when, that is actually, like, you're so much more likely to get sunburnt that way. I feel like that's what I heard before. I could be wrong. I could be wrong so many times. I could be as wrong as Long Professor. Actually, we'll do that on a separate layer. And then... I want to get the eyeshadow. I think it's this color. Looks like it's that color. The sun is sneaky too. Very sneaky, deadly radiation laser. But yeah, my mom's like super anal about the three of us not like putting on sunscreen, but not so we don't get sunburnt. No, it's because she thinks the sunscreen is gonna keep our skin light, and I'm just like, Mom, that is not how that works. And she's like, it's so stupid. We'll be outside in the like I'll take a walk in the summer. And she's like, why didn't you put on any sunscreen? You're so dark. And I'm like, I was gonna get dark whether I put on sunscreen or not. I didn't put on sunscreen because if I just let my body tan, I am less likely to get burned. And I don't mind getting a little tan. And she's been like that, like, my whole life. It's crazy to me that she's a nurse sometimes. But you know what? I won't think about it too hard. You know, my mom's probably, like, a good nurse, otherwise I think she would have lost her job a long time ago, so I'm not too worried. But again, I do think it is funny that, like, she thinks that somehow putting on sunscreen is what's gonna keep me from tanning. No, it's what keeps me from, getting burnt to a crisp. See. I think that's good for the eyeshadow. I've been thinking about like getting more into makeup, but I don't actually want to do like the whole like foundation thing because I feel like if I tried that, I wouldn't like how it feels on my face. I think it would be very like uncomfortable and like very I feel like it would make my face feel very stiff. I tried so hard to get tan when I was a teen because people used to make fun of my pale skin. I just used to burn and blister and peel, yay. I mean, I wouldn't recommend trying to get tanned. I think, especially if it's just harder for certain people of certain skin tones. For example, I'm Filipino. And contrary to what Filipino media might tell you, Filipinos are not generally as pale as I am. I'm actually a little bit darker. It's just the reflection of all the screen is making me look um, white as a sheet. I've always been told I look sickly, but but I'm just half Dutch. That's so real. But like even though I'm pale, I do generally have an easier time getting tan because of my genetics, I think. And that's kind of I think that's mostly where it boils down to. If having a tan is not all that it's chalked up to be. Like, I don't mind it most of the time, but like I don't think there's anything wrong with like having like pale skin either. Again, my issue with it is when you're one, hailing pale skin to be like the epitome of like beauty standard and everything, and two, when you're making all of your characters pale skinned. That's really all it is for me. And then there was a scar here that I forgot to ink, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. I would probably benefit from not inking that, but it's okay. I've inked scars before and they look fine. It's a matter of how thick I make the outlines, really. Sickly is in. Yeah, especially after Astarion and Baldur's Gate 3. I'm kidding. Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I think that would definitely be another fun stream thing that could happen. I know there's something that I've had something in mind for like a long time now, even before I decided like, oh yeah, maybe I really should be a streamer or get into streaming more. And it's something that I call the canon run. If it wasn't obvious by like 99% of the content on my accounts, I am big into D&D. I've been playing D&D for the longest time. So Aerie, the little tiefling druid that you see occasionally, or that I draw occasionally, I should really draw her more often. Aerie, she was one of my first D&D characters. I often call her like the first, but there might have been like one or two more before her. I've had her for so long as an OC, and for the longest time I have mostly had her story planned out, and her arc is roughly the same in like every incarnation of her. So for Baldur's Gate 3, she does like I do have like the whole thing like mapped out for her. And something that I thought would be fun as like a stream thing is Baldur's Gate, the Ares canon run, and I thought something that would be fun for all of that is like doing really rough animations of my own, like custom cut scenes between her and Astarion, complete with like custom voice lines or something. But that is definitely a ways down the line. But it is something that I'd like to do mostly because I think it'd be super fun to just one, collab like that, two, attempt animation. Well, we'll see, we'll see. I think Baldur's Gate 3 in general would be a fun stream game. And I especially want to do like this specific run because the first time I'd played Baldur's Gate 3, I was just so upset already. Not upset like in a bad way, but like role-playing Aerie in my head. I'm back again. Sorry, Melanie is growling and protesting at me. All good. Watching over the bubbies are very important. Hair is stuck in my glasses. Ow. Oh god, hang on. I should just... I should just go into stream blind and take off my glasses. There we go. I think I got it. But yeah, I feel like that would be like a really fun stream idea, and one of the reasons why I want to do this canon run is because the first time I played around, the way I was playing Aerie, or role-playing her in the game, I guess, is, she was just so, like, unbelievably done with everyone's bullshit. Like, Astarion's, like, constant, like, oh, well, what if we didn't find a cure for the parasites? Or, like, all the tieflings and druids just, like, arguing with each other, and then Lae'zel and Shadowheart, being so, like, angry with each other, too. And Aerie just there, like, can we just go find this stupid cure already? So I had her march all the way straight to, like, the Goblin Fortress, or whatever it was called. So I missed out on, like, so much Act 1 content. And I'm like, I should probably go redo that. Okay, I still want to buy a PC just so I can buy Baldur's Gate and romance the pants off of Gale and Halsin. It's so true. I will say, though, if you want to romance Gale and Halsin in the same run, I don't think that's actually possible, because Gale is not open to polyamory. But there are mods that I think remove that too, so you could just do that. But no, it's so worth it. Baldur's Gate 3 is such a fun playthrough. I would not mind playing Ares File again. Let's see. I think we'll use this color for the pearls because I really cannot see what color they are exactly on the thing. No, separate runs, I'm not poly. Alright, fair enough. I still need to come up with, like, a character to romance Halsin with. Because I have, like, a few D&D characters lined up for all of this, right? And it's so sad, because I think Aerie, realistically, is the only one who would hook up with Halsin. But in my head, I think, Astarion's initial, like, response to the suggestion was like, oh, well, no, we don't have to do, like, an open thing. So, but then, like, the rest of my characters, I have a Galemancer in mind. Her name is Kina. And obviously Gale's not into poly, so that's not happening with Halsin. And then I have another character, her name is Lilac. She's gonna romance Shadowheart. And, she is not bi, she's lesbian, so no Halsin there. And then the other character, Ada, she's a water genasi. So because she's a water genasi, I wanted to romance her with, what's it called? Karlach. But the thing with Ada, is she's ace, so she's probably not even, like the whole, like, open relationship thing already is just like, oh, no thanks. Can you play the Tabaxi? I don't have a computer yet. No! I mean, that's what the stream donation should go to, getting you guys computers. You guys should save your money. No more subs. Specifically talking to you, Hecate. I think someone made a Tabaxi mod. Gale is so old-fashioned and proper Halsin just loves everybody. It's true. I love Halsin. I really do need to come up with a character to romance him with. I don't have one. Ugh. Maybe it'll be like another ranger or druid. Let me see. Can you? Yes, Hugh. Stop gifting subs. Save your money so you can buy a PC and play Baldur's Gate 3. I like playing Skyrim. Like, my Skyrim character in different games. Oh yeah, that's always super fun. What's it called? I haven't gotten the chance to play, like, any of my D&D characters in, like, different, like, settings, but that's always, like, super fun. It's like a little, like, different AU for each character. It's great. I swear there was a Tabaxi mod for Baldur's Gate 3. More tiefling sub-races. I mean, that's cool, but like, someone give me, yeah, someone was working on a Tabaxi mod, and it looks super cool. Yeah, this looks great. This was 8 months ago, though. Oh, Jesus. My Kaji is traveling across realms. Any game that lets you play as a cat-focused fair game. So true. There's a Patreon for it. God, I hope this is out because one, it looks really good. Two, we need more Anthros in Baldur's Gate 3. That would fix me. But yeah. I know Water Genasi is definitely not a playable race. I think there was a Genasi mod before. Let me see. That I was looking at it. I don't know if it's updated for. I mean, I guess we did get the patch that helps us like do better modding things. Yeah, I think this was the one that I had in mind. Slime Genasi I think might be a homebrew, but it is interesting. The one issue is that I don't know if any of these mods have been updated for the latest patch. I don't think so, because this one says it was last updated in February. Yeah. It's okay, though. Even if I get too confused on how to do the mods, I can at least figure out a way to play that character without the use of it. Let's see. I don't want to use completely white on this. I think it's gonna look a lot nicer with like very, very light blue. Then I need to add a separate layer for like all the other details that are gonna come in. On the subject of Tabaxi, again, one of my favorite, one thing that I do often just because it's hard to find people to DM. I DM, so one of my Christmas one-shots that I did for my cousins, it was really funny. Oh, right, I need to make the new layer. It was really funny because I had like a whole scene where they could like go around the town and have like do little Christmas activities that I had like written for them. And two of my cousins tried to. I DM'd a New Year's one shot. Oh, that sounds so fun. I love holiday one shots. They're always like so much fun to write and play and run. They're great. Oh, you spelled one shot correct the second time. What's with what is with the second correction? Am I dumb? You panicked? Oh, all good. One shit? That's me when I roll a nat one. But, one of my favorite, like, little improvs, because they were trying to scam this little town, essentially. And a character that I had improved into the scene was a Tabaxi, monk or something, I believe. And basically, one of the players was trying to beat that Tabaxi in a foot race. So like just off the bat, I was like, it's a tabaxi with like a cheetah coat. It's very clear that they're very athletic. Their legs are pretty long, and this is definitely not their first foot race. Something like that. I love improving stuff. I love that it keeps me on my feet, and I don't know, roleplay is just so fun to me. I wish I could play D&D more and run it less, but I also have fun running it anyways, so it works out. So it's just gonna be on the tips of these little hair locks. Have any of you guys played D&D before, out of curiosity? I feel like I talk a lot about D&D, but I don't actually know how much of my audience has played D&D. Just wait a little bit. I haven't, but I've always been fascinated by it. Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of people at the end of the day. I still have all the character sheets I want to reuse. I really want to reuse Trick Monroe, the womanizing assassin acrobat. Oh boy, that is there is a backstory behind that, a really juicy backstory, and I am eager to hear it. He got stabbed and poisoned, real. I love the hard cut to that. That's so funny. But yeah, I would love to set this up. I would love to find a way to like set up like a chat bot or something, or I guess like a Twitch bot, I should say, not a chat bot. So that so I can play D&D with chat. I think that'd be so funny. I just don't know what that would look like exactly. I have a vague idea in my head. I think if I wanted to do this, it would be... You would have... Let me think about how I should say this. You would have two choices, and that would be in a poll, and those choices are gonna use like different stats and everything. And I would just have to like play things out as chat votes. But beyond that, I'm not too sure how it's gonna look yet. I don't even like know how I would program it either, but it just sounds like such a funny idea to try and play D&D with like Twitch chat. The assassinating led to a curse from the Manor Lady's ghost. They had to kill him as revenge before she would let them escape the crumbling manor. Oh, he got sacrificed. Big oof. Sounds like a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. D&D is great. I love D&D. Or just like tabletop RPGs in general. When I was streaming all of this before, what I was streaming was different like games that I was running. So I was running like a Apex Legends themed D&D game. My cousin was running a different tabletop system called Cyberpunk Red. Pre-roll ads are on. Run an ad break to disable them, or I could just not, and we don't have to sit through the ads. Actually, I think the people who are watching here are mostly subbed, so it's okay. I don't think they're watching ads here. It was a countdown to New Year's campaign. They had to solve it before the clock hit 12. Oh, that's so fun. They did not. Oof. Oh, that's such a fun idea. actually putting a hard time limit on a campaign, and campaigns, oh boy, or on a one-shot, D&D in general, just, it is a time sink and a half. But, yeah, when my cousin was running the Cyberpunk Red game, I was playing a character, named, Blight. She was by far one of my favorite characters to, play as. She was my excuse to be, like, edgy, and, she was my excuse to be, like, a super, like, edgy character, because, traumatic backstory and everything, and she had, like, so much, like, selfish motivation to, like, survive and everything. And it was a really fun, thing to do. And I played her with full intent of her becoming a cyber psycho. And then, I don't know how it got spun like this, but because of the events of the campaign, she ended up not becoming a cyber psycho and ended up getting like a little bit of a redemption arc. And it was to the point, because I think what it was that Blight had like very severe like trauma, and then like a sort of like blend of like thanatophobia. So she was super like, you know, like she didn't like a lot of people with like heavy augments. She didn't she always like acted like very safely and played things out very carefully. It was kind of to the point where she would not mind like leaving someone behind, I think, if it meant that she would survive. But by like the final session, one of the things that I had her do, one of our player characters, they were playing this dad character and his daughter. So one of the things that I had Blight do was, she was willing to, like, try and, like, act as a diversion to see if, she could get the dad and the daughter, like, to safety. It didn't pan out, like I'd hoped it would. But it was fun to, like, roleplay as Blight and, watch the character development there. Moral of the story, if you want to play D&D, jump on the boat the first chance you get, because I promise, if you find like a good group to play with and everything, it is going to be one of the best experiences I think you could ever have. Like, genuinely, I think how do I put this? I think in general, just playing tabletops have been... Oh, what? Oh, what is happening here? How? Bro. My favorite campaign was how I met one of my best friends. I married a boat in that one. That is such a... Like, in-game you married a boat? I also had to murder the boat. No! Tragedy! It's so sad. It was very complicated. It sounds like it. The concept of marrying a boat already is very, is very intriguing and very confusing already. I want to say, like, stuff about, like, Ares, like, thing, because she was the character I played most, probably. Because she was there first-ish. And we had played that campaign for, like, a few years. Sort of on and off because of, like, scheduling stuff, but, She is that character to me, and I've had like so much time to think about her character arcs and everything. But there was there in one of the arcs for our campaign, Aerie had ended up romancing one of the a sort of villain. She was like kind of under mind control, something to that effect. I won't explain it too much because it was a very like complex situation. Point is, she had to shoot her girlfriend. It was very sad. She was a ghost boat belonging to the Pirate King. It was a haunted boat. Oh my god. Did the boat talk? Did the boats actually say yes? And more importantly, this probably should have been my first question. Were you playing a bard? It did talk and it hated me. Me when I get... Yes, I was a tiefling bard. That makes more sense now. Lean starboard for yes. Was that obvious? I cannot think of any other type of character that you would play as to romance a boat. The next best class to romance a boat, who would that be? Probably Artificer. I'm not gonna lie, Artificer I think would romance a boat, if not the Bard. Oh boy. It's 11:56. We're making good progress on this, I think. Let's see. There's a little bit of a gradient, so I think we're gonna need a few different layers actually, so another thing that I like about Medibang over Procreate is that there's an actual gradient tool. So I can just do this and not worry about it being too, like, what's it called? Too uneven. Because, while I don't care too much for smooth gradients, when I do actually need a gradient, I probably should care. I also romanced a doorknob in that campaign. I rolled a nat 20 and locked the door with pure charisma. That is incredible. I need to see, like, a dramatic recreation of this. One of my favorite roleplay moments, when I was playing Aerie, I find these streams so educational. And what's your source for where you got this information? Pigeon Cur or twitch.tv/PigeonCur. I've considered that making that campaign into a series of comics. Honestly, I get that. That's exactly what my webcomic is supposed to be. One of my favorite roleplay moments that I did with Aerie, it was a little Christmas special. Oh boy, this is gonna be a funny story time. So this campaign took place, this arc of the campaign took place in this snowy mountain region, and the one shot, there was a strong emphasis on time being like super weird. And Christmas was happening, so everyone's trying to find gifts for Secret Santas and NPCs and stuff. One of the NPCs, however, towards after everyone had like sort of secured their Secret Santa gifts, she kicks down this door in the castle, and she leads us down the dark hallway, kicks down, I think, another door, and where do we find ourselves? None other than the North Pole, like the actual North Pole with Santa's gift shop. And this, as everyone is like sort of freaking out, like what are we doing here all of a sudden? She manages to hold the entire like workshop at gunpoint, and it became a hostage situation, and we all had to like subdue her so we could save Christmas. But at that point, by the end of the little boss battle there, the whole place is in disrepair, and the Santa's little elves have no idea what to do. So we're all like, how are we gonna save Christmas now? And our DM goes around, and he's like, around you guys, you see like these sort of effigies. How many elves perished that day? There is no number that can correctly quantify how many elves perished while being held at gunpoint that day. Because I think the other thing that happened was after the gun, it was a cannon. It was some sort of mounted turret, I think. So, so the DM's like explaining, like, there are like these special totems that might be able to like summon Santa or something like that. And the totems are as follows: 12 drummers drumming, and then I forget the rest of the lyrics. And then finally, it's down to like, after the 2 turtle doves, there are no, I shall light a candle for all the victims of the Christmas Workshop Massacre. Oh no. But, it's basically like all the totems are like these things from like the 12 days of Christmas, and there is a pear tree, but no partridge. And Aerie is a druid again, but at the time she wasn't high enough level, I think, to wild shape into a creature with flying speed. But I had the brilliant idea of asking my DM, like, Chance, I know that Aerie isn't high enough level to turn into a partridge, but can she turn into a partridge this one time? And through the power of friendship, Christmas magic, and me doing a little like Dragon Ball Z Kai Super Saiyan scream in the room, Aerie turns into a partridge. She perches herself on a pear tree, and lo and behold, Santa comes in, and he's like, oh my god, what happened here? And it ended up being like a super wholesome ending to the campaign. The character did have a reason for hating Christmas and holding everyone at gunpoint. And she got like a really nice ending to it. And it was just a really, really funny, like, goofy one-shot. And it kind of inspired me to do more Christmas one-shots throughout the years. I've only done 2 so far. I've been meaning to do a 3rd one. The second one that I did was... I haven't been drawing, I just realized. The second one that I did was, it was hilarious. It was... Oh, hang on. I need a mesh transform, actually. Where is it? It's right here. Because we're gonna do this so it's a little bit more fitted properly to, the shape that I'm trying to capture here. What ended up happening was, in this one, Lilac, she's a spore druid, so she deals with, like, undead and stuff like that. She had accidentally unleashed a zombie, like, army on the entire city. And then you had to run around, doing, like, little, like, Christmas-themed puzzles so that Lilac could round up the zombies and, return them to a state of, like, death. And it was just really silly. Again, there was one where you had to convince a zombified Rudolph to shine his nose so that he could lead the other reindeer out of the city and back to their graves. The first puzzle was you had a bunch of zombified marching band like characters, and they were all marching in time, but it looked like they were missing something. You had to go out and find 12 drums to give them, which was all of my puzzles were based off of Christmas carols, which I thought was a fun thing. I don't know what I would do for a third one shot though. I'm still trying to work that out, so I'm sure the game store would also like me to run a Christmas one shot when the time comes for it. See, we do this. I think that should be good for the gradient on the thing. No, not a zombified Rudolph. Yeah, it was a zombified Rudolph. It was very funny. You don't understand how much joy I got saying like the phrase, and then Rudolph with his nose so bright stands on his rear, and there's sort of like this like braying noise, and a bunch of zombified reindeer begin following him into the distance. It was such a fun moment. Like it's those dumb things, like it's those dumb things that I think make DMing like worth it. Seeing like the silly reactions from your players as they realize like, oh, I see what's going on here. Let's see, and then to see where I need to erase this, so I have to turn off all the color real quick. Rudolph with your nose so bright, won't you guide the tent tonight? That is good. It's so true though. That is exactly what happened. Yeah. I'd need to run like another Christmas one shot. They're so fun. I ran the Halloween one, I know that. That one was also a lot of fun to do. Tarantella, the spider vampire lady in the one-shot, she's... God, I loved, like, playing as her. Like, as an NPC, I guess I should say, but it's so silly. Let's see, we'll just do the rest of this real quick. You can use that, it's not copyrighted. If I ever, like, rewrite that one shot, yeah. I'll credit you, though, that's too good. My dream as a streamer is just to collab with other, like, streamers and play D&D. That's all I want. I just want to play D&D. That's all this is. Right, and then almost done getting this gradient set, which is good. Yeah, so it should be like there, but not like overbearing, because otherwise... What is... Okay, that is part of the gradient, okay. I was like, why isn't it erasing? What did I do this time? And then that's on the first layer. How did that happen? Guys, I'm so confused. I swear, I'm not usually this disorganized with my layers, but for some reason tonight, it's just not happening. Alrighty. Then I think there was one more thing I needed to do. Right, it's the little tip of the feather here. We'll use this color for it. Actually, we'll just, I won't worry about spillover because I'll just erase it. Then turn that off so I can see what I'm doing. I think it's coming along. I'm just enjoying chilling and working while I listen in. Yeah. That's what I do with, that's what I've learned to do with like streams. Most of the time I'll usually have commentary stuff on, but on like the occasion where I'm able to catch a stream, it is very nice. It's definitely nice for like Faz's thing too. I love that I could just have like 3 hours in the morning to just draw and like hang out with people online. It's great. Okay, I think that's all the detail I can really get on there. I'll probably add like some stars to the outfit just to give it a little bit more pop to it. I'm definitely gonna add some sparkles to the eyeliner up there. So that should be a good place to save now before I forget. And then on to, actually, maybe we'll save rendering for another time and we'll do the painting, because I'm sure that's going to be, oops, there we go. So I'm sure that's going to take a whole mess of time on its own. So let's see, I want the canvas to be a little bit taller. So we're going to go 2300, I think. And then let's move this a little. Hair looks amazing. Oh, thank you. I miss Faz's streams. They start at midnight my time during the week. Oh, the big oof. It's okay. We've indoctrinated you here now. I'm kidding. Man, I hope you'll be able to catch them again at some point. I know for me, because I start work at 10 and his streams end 9:30, I can't stay for like the whole thing, but also in general, hang on, my hair got caught again. I should just put it back. For one, it's getting a lot harder to wake up early just because it's so cold and like the bed, or couch I should say, I sleep on a couch. It's so warm I don't want to get up. And I could just like lurk and chat, but I'm just like, I should get up and be productive if I'm just gonna like be here for 3 hours. So there's that. But, yeah. I love hanging out with everyone Faz's. Dates and your streams. I don't do dates as often as I'd like, though. Yeah, I need to catch a Dade stream at some point. I think what it is that he's just always there with Faz, so it's like, ooh, I don't want to choose. And I do end up choosing anyways, but point being, how are we gonna do the gradient for the sky is a good question. I think bottom purple, this is, I should look up an actual picture of Aurora Borealis before I do this, huh? Could I get, God, can I not get, tell me why Google Images is like including like AI work in this. I know it's AI because everything about it is so flat. There's no texture, there's no, like, there's no texture on the snow. The lighting is just way too idealistic. AI sucks balls. Allow that auto mod. Like, it looks pretty for sure, but you can tell it's you can tell that it's not done by a real person. All right, so let's see. The sky is definitely some shades of blue, but I think adding, yeah, I think this is a reference that I'd like to use. Thanks, of course. All the bots are teaming up, yeah. You know what I'm surprised about? I have not seen a single, like, bot chat in my stream since I started doing this, which is a surprise, because you'd think it'd happen more often on, like, a really small thing like this. But, you know what? I'll take it if it means I don't have to, moderate too much, because, well, it is a little bit of a hassle, but I love that message too. Pigeon Cur added permitted term sucks balls. Alright, so we'll have like a purple thing, and then we'll do this sort of dark blue gradient. We'll do a clipping layer so we're not too... that could be darker. Come on. I guess one more layer of this. Yeah, I think that's a good start right now. And then here comes the fun part. How does one paint Aurora Borealis? Well, I need to look at my brushes. Again, a really good tip for... That's good, I had some kind of AI / chat GPT bot in one of my... Ah. Oh. Man, that sucks. Yeah, on Blue Sky today, wildest thing happened. I got a new follower, and I like to check out who follows me, because it's like, I think it's generally good practice to have, because I want to see, like, what kind of people am I reaching. Tell me why I got an NFT account. Like, this guy, I think he was literally just taking pictures of himself and then uploading them to the blockchain. And it was like, dude, no. Like, I don't understand what that was doing, there, because I guess I should probably just put, like, no AI, no NFT in my bio, but I would like my account to speak for itself. I do not support that shit. I got a bunch of Techno Bro followers too, yeah. Yeah, no, all of them, just stay on Twitter. Stay on Twitter. Don't come to Blue Sky. You're not welcome here. And, I mean that in a very lighthearted, jokingly kind of way. You guys can exist on Blue Sky, just don't exist in my specific, like, little art corner, though, because, no. Oh, good gods above and below. Yeah, it's so... I was really hoping Blue Sky would be more free of it, but... I guess we can't have nice things. Okay. Pull up the Deltarune OST, just to keep things, in theme. All chapters. Yeah, I guess all chapters is like the easiest thing to do. Alright, how am I gonna do this? It's a good thing I'm doing this on stream, so I'll hopefully remember. Or I can hopefully go back to this highlight and remember how to do this when I inevitably have to do this again. Blue Sky at least tells you to report. At least lets you report transphobia. Ooh, that's super helpful. I'll have to update my bio too. Yeah, probably a smart thing. Again, not that I'm against updating bios, I'm just one, lazy, two. I would much rather have my account speak for itself. Like, you should know you're not welcome in my space if I post a certain way. Let's see. I think I was talking about this the last stream. One of the best pieces of advice I could give to like any digital artist is to just learn your brushes. They might say one thing, but when in reality they can actually be used for like a million different things. It's super useful. God, Toby Fox is such a good composer. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's definitely pretty, but it's not the shape that I need. Okay, I think I have an idea of what to do. I'm gonna try and copy something that I did for a different promotional piece that I did for the game store. First of all, that needs to be turned on, and then something like that. Yeah, something like that, and then... oh boy. I try to avoid starting drama on the interwebs, so I usually avoid politics, but I'm definitely reaching a point where I don't care. Yeah, my thing with politics is, on the subject of whether you should, like, respect somebody's identity, sexuality, and so on and so forth, I don't want losers enjoying my art. Yeah, that's very valid. But my take on it is essentially, if you think respecting someone, respecting someone's rights, respecting someone's identity, respecting, like, just who they are as a person has to be a political topic, I don't really want you in my space, because if you want to turn that into an argument, then you're just telling me way more about yourself, and it's pretty bad. I don't think things like human rights should be political, because I think that should just be, like, a given. Like, why is this even a discussion? The answer is yes. It should always be yes when it comes to rights and stuff like that. The things that should actually be political are things like where our tax money goes, stuff with education, economy and stuff. That's what should be political, not human rights. I don't understand why, like, it has to be such a big argument. Actually, rephrasing that, losers are fine. Cringe isn't real. I don't want bad people enjoying my art. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't want that either. It's, like, I'm desperate for, to grow my account. I'm desperate to get commissioned. I'm not that desperate. I'll put it that way. Let's see. I think that's a good shape to start the thing, and I'm gonna start this on a different layer, just in case I mess up and I have to erase things. See, I like how this brush is shaped, so agreed, very agreed. I think me and Johnny identify as what's called a global centrist, not an American centrist. Because at the end of the day, the shape looks good. Yeah, I think the shape looks good too. I'm just a little worried on how I'm going to do the rest of it. Me and Johnny identify, I think, as what's called global centrist, which is different from American centrism. And I think in general, global centrist is always going to be a little bit more left-leaning because, yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's, like, some things that more conservative ends of the spectrum, like, preach, and I'm like, yeah, valid enough. But when it comes to things like human rights, I really don't understand why it's such a shitstorm. I don't understand why it has to be like a debate. It's like, oh, should uh should people of the LGBT community be allowed to walk on the street? Duh. Yes. Why are you even asking that question? Like that's my take on politics. If the answer is like obvious, then it shouldn't be like a debate. I don't understand why that's so hard for people to grasp. It's so stupid. And I'm glad you agree with me, because some people really want to turn everything into a debate, and I'm like, it really doesn't have to be. Ooh, actually, this brush is actually really good for what I'm trying to, for the effect I'm trying to achieve here. Hang on. Hang on, that's actually... Chat, am I cooking? I can finally say that. I think I'm cooking, guys. I just need to blend this a little bit more so it doesn't look like... It isn't such a hard transition from like the solid to the not solid. You're cooking with gas. Literally. Well, not literally, I guess, but like, so true. I've never been more proud of myself. Oh, and you know what would actually like help this like depth-wise and everything? If I added like here where it like overlaps on itself, if I added like some white to like make it brighter. Yeah. Yeah, that's making sense in my head. How's that look from far away though? That's the big question. It is definitely a start, we'll put it that way. But I need... Would it be good then if I took my blur tool and I just... Too big. Also too big. Still too big. Just a little bit on the edge. I think pink, but I could also be... No, you're right. Auroras are definitely super colorful. My big concern right now is, my big concern at the moment isn't, color accuracies, it's depth at the moment. Because there is a sort of 3D effect that I need to achieve here, I think. And there's also the matter of blending the solid line with the not solid line, so that's definitely going to be interesting to tackle, but we're off to a good start at the very least. Yeah, because it's like if this part is behind and it just keeps, it's supposed to come more forward, so I need to figure out how to like sell that just a little bit more, I think. Okay, what if... no, Because I need it, I want that full luminance out of it, so that has to stay. Let's lay everything down first, and we'll go from there. Yeah, this is looking pretty good, all things considered so far. I've never done this before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But at the same time, when do I ever know what I'm doing? Let me see. Click the what if I... If I do this... I might need a different brush to blend all of that together. So, be sure to try that. And then, let's keep... keep going. Do bigger strokes here. Actually, they might need to be a little bit thicker at this point, so... I love how you can see, like, the... This is the biggest part of the Aurora right now, so... And then I think here it goes more towards the back again, so go like this. Decrease the brush size again. Something something 3D effect achieved. Yeah, another thing I think I should do is look into how to create my own overlays, because I would love to have chat on screen for stream. I just didn't really like the overlays that I saw on Streamlabs, so I was like, what if I just made my own? And I think I should make my own. I think it'll be, I think it's very fun, the concept of like streaming things, but like the things that you're streaming is just you building like more and more parts of your channel. I think that's a very fun little idea. I'll just try and fill all of that in real quick. Then, let's see, do all of this. Fill it in. I think I do just have to like go a little harsh on the edge here so it properly blends the way I need it to. Yeah, I think that is more or less the effect that I'm going for. And it's only 12:33. I think maybe we can finish this little background piece before stream ends. Maybe. I could be wrong. I could have like a whole lot more to do. I just don't know it yet. Let's see. Specifically this I need to fill up right now. So we'll do that. I might end a little bit early just so I can get to bed. I do have work tomorrow. But does that look too solid now? Hold up. Be very gentle with the brush here. Just a little bit. Yeah, because it definitely looks a little bit too solid for what I think it should look like. Have I gone on my whole, like, spiel on, like, artists having, like, a brush for everything, trend? Because I'm sure if I looked somewhere, like, online, I can find a brush that'll do all of this for me. And those things are, like, really nice to have, sure. But it's really nice when you can watch people, like, really show off their skill and be like, hey, look what I can do. Look at how I achieved this effect all on my own. I get it for things like chains, maybe. Like, I think I made myself a chain brush. I don't use it that often because it's not that good, but, it's definitely something that I noticed with, like, a lot of, like, things, art these days. It's like there's a brush for everything. That looks awesome. It looks like a rainbow bridge for sled. Aw, thank you. That's such a lovely way of putting it. Aw. I don't think it looks the way I need it to yet, though. But I love that you think it looks great. I think it's off to a really good start right now too. Oh yeah, heck, I think you're gonna find this absolutely hilarious because I find it, like, very silly. So someone on Faz's chat, I talked to them on Discord a bit, and I posted that video of me singing I Could Never Be Ready from Steven Universe, right? And I sent it to them, because I was like, hey, look at me, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting more powerful on guitar. Said, unironically, I think one of the coolest compliments I think I will ever receive in my lifetime. Let me pull up what it said exactly. What is Clive sending in the sibling chat? I see. You have a lovely soothing voice. Oh, thank you. I don't like the sound of my voice, but I appreciate that other people seem to like it for some reason. But yeah, he had said, like, a quote, like, I'd fall asleep to your voice, and the only other person I listen to for sleep is Faz, and I'm just like, that is unironically, like, one of the coolest compliments I think I have ever received. I think I left a comment on your socials. I can't remember. Oh my god. I'm so sorry if you did and I didn't respond. I swear it's probably just because I haven't seen it yet. Not that I get, like, a lot of notifications, but I get so stupid busy sometimes. It's kind of sad. I do like to reply to, like, every comment that I get, though. It's very fun. Wow, that's a lovely compliment. It really is. Yeah, I know we all sound, like, different in our heads, and most of the time I think what it is supposed to be, like, you sound better in your head sometimes than you do in real life. Of course, that's, like, subjective and everything. I do not like the sound of my own voice in my own head. I think I might actually sound... sometimes I think, like, oh, maybe I sound a little bit better, like if I heard myself talk, but then I hear myself talk and I'm like, why do I still sound like I'm in middle school? And I don't mean that in like a prepubescent like boy kind of way. I mean it in like a like my voice is still feels like sounds like so childish to me. It's like, why do I sound like this? What happened? And I do appreciate that people think I have a really good voice, though. I really don't know why, but especially in the drive-thru, people say like, "Oh, you have a really good voice. You should work for Disney." And I'm like, I'm assuming they mean Disneyland, because if they mean like actual like Disney, that is definitely like the compliment of the century, especially since I'm just talking to them. I'm not even singing. It's so funny though. I hear my voice on the automated like answering machine on the drive-thru every single day. What you're supposed to do at like fast food restaurants generally is you want to promote like an item of some sort. So for Carl's Jr. right now, it's the double Western. So I hear myself every time that drive-thru comes on. It's like, "Hi, would you like to try the double Western today?" It's like, oh my god, I hate this. But the customers seem to like my voice, and the big corporate heads seem to like my customer service voice too. So I'm just like, you know what? If it sells, it sells. It's definitely a little solid still. Let me see if I can just ease it up a little bit in some spots. Don't want to go too much that it reveals like that solid like cutoff, but I also just don't want it to be like really like overbearing. Speaking of guitar stuff too, today I think my fingers are finally like flexible enough to where I can I'd show you guys, but my mom is sleeping. Where I can play Disenchanted without having to move my fingers around too much, which is really good because when I was trying it out, it's like I have to go from it's so awkward moving like on the fretboards still. But I'm getting faster at it. I'm definitely getting a little bit faster every single day. But my fingers are like finally flexible enough to where I don't like the way I play it, I don't have to move it around like anymore. And I'm like, that's good, because this was driving me insane, and I was like, how do people do this? I say it like I haven't played an instrument before. Practicing an instrument is like so... This is gonna sound really like weird and dumb. I can practice art, right? And it's very like easily showable, and like look like what I'm doing right now. This is like a very like maybe not entertaining thing to watch, but it's like watchable, so to say, right? If you guys, I was in band, and the way you practice instruments is so different from like anything else, I think, because it's literally it's gonna be has to be like the worst way for me to describe it, but practicing in actual like practice on instruments is so unsexy. And I'm sorry that I have to word it like that, but it's kind of true, because where I can like practice like a bunch of like hand sketches or poses and everything, and it'll look good by the end, hopefully. Practicing an instrument will literally involve like going back, for example, can literally just be going back and forth between two notes over and over and over again for like 5 minutes. And that's not fun to listen to, and it's definitely not fun to play. but that's how it goes. I remember in band, you don't when you practice a song for band, you're not practicing the whole song. You're just practicing the runs, and practicing the runs is so like it's so mundane. It's so like disinteresting sometimes. Cuz you want to play the fun stuff but then it's like that's not the stuff that you need to practice. It's this really boring repetitive shit. And it was always like kind of embarrassing for me practicing at home cuz my dad you know will be there and he's like, "What are you playing? That doesn't really sound like music." And I'm like, "I have to practice this, Dad, otherwise I won't be able to play what it actually is supposed to sound like." I think he understood at some point. Finally, like, understood at some point, but God, it was... Again, practicing an instrument has to be, like, one of the most unsexy things you can do. I have to go to work tomorrow, so I have to head out. I'll see you next time, though. Oh, man. Me too, because I also have work tomorrow. And it is 12:45. I think in that case, then, it's probably just a good idea to end stream here. Just so I get, like, a little bit of sleep. So, to close off, next stream should be Tuesday, 11:30, assuming my manager doesn't accidentally forget that I didn't want to work Tuesdays. The weekly schedule should be roughly the same as this previous week, and, yeah, we'll see everyone then, and hope you guys have a good night. Goodbye, everyone, and I hope everyone has a great day tomorrow. Bye.